Donald Trump is no stranger to defying norms. Throughout his political career, he has consistently challenged the status quo, often taking paths that many would consider unconventional or even controversial. His approach has garnered both fervent support and intense criticism, making him one of the most polarizing figures in modern American politics. His second-term transition is no different. Unlike previous presidents who have adhered to a well-established protocol, Trump has chosen to navigate this period in his own unique way. This has led to a series of unprecedented events that have left political analysts and the general public alike in a state of bewilderment. It has been unorthodox, to say the least, from holding rallies that resemble campaign events more than transition activities, to making bold statements that challenge the legitimacy of the electoral process. Trump's actions have been anything but typical. These moves have not only disrupted the traditional flow of the transition, but have also sparked widespread debate about the future of American democracy. Trump and his team have cast aside long-standing traditions. These traditions, which have been followed by administrations for decades, are designed to ensure a smooth transfer of power. They involve detailed briefings, collaborative meetings, and a spirit of cooperation between the outgoing and incoming teams. However, the Trump administration has taken a different route, one that has been marked by a lack of communication and coordination. These traditions are designed to ensure a smooth transfer of power. They are not just ceremonial. They play a crucial role in maintaining the stability and continuity of government operations. By bypassing these established practices, the Trump team has introduced a level of unpredictability that is rarely seen in such transitions. They have opted for a path that has raised eyebrows and sparked concern. Political commentators and experts have expressed their worries about the potential implications of this approach. The media has been abuzz with discussions about the possible consequences, ranging from administrative chaos to national security risks. This departure from the norm is evident in their approach to established agencies. Instead of working closely with these institutions to ensure a seamless transition, the Trump team has often been at odds with them. This has led to a strained relationship that could have long-term effects on the functioning of these agencies. It is also evident in their interactions with foreign leaders. Traditionally, the transition period is a time for the incoming administration to build relationships and establish a foundation for future diplomacy. However, the Trump team's approach has been more confrontational, leading to uncertainty among international allies and adversaries alike. The Trump team seems determined to rewrite the rules of presidential transitions. Their actions suggest a desire to break free from the constraints of tradition and forge a new path. While this may resonate with their base, it has also created a sense of unpredictability that is unsettling for many. The implications of this strategy remain unclear. While some argue that it could lead to a more dynamic and flexible government, others fear that it could result in chaos and instability. The uncertainty has left many Americans feeling anxious about the future. However, one thing is certain: this is not business as usual. The traditional norms and practices that have guided presidential transitions for generations are being challenged in ways that were previously unimaginable. This has set the stage for a period of significant change and potential upheaval. The traditional transition process is a carefully choreographed dance. It involves a series of well-planned steps that are designed to ensure a smooth and orderly transfer of power. This process is not just about the ceremonial aspects. It is about ensuring that the incoming administration is fully prepared to take on the responsibilities of governing. It involves both outgoing and incoming administrations. The outgoing team provides detailed briefings and shares critical information to help the new team hit the ground running. This collaboration is essential for maintaining continuity and stability in government operations. Its purpose is to safeguard national security and ensure continuity. By working together, the outgoing and incoming teams can address any potential issues and ensure that there are no gaps in the functioning of the government. This is particularly important in areas such as national security, where any disruption could have serious consequences. Trump's approach has been anything but smooth. The lack of coordination and communication has led to a chaotic and unpredictable transition period. This has raised concerns about the potential impact on the functioning of the government and the ability of the new administration to effectively take over. His team has shown a reluctance to engage with the outgoing administration. This has created a sense of uncertainty and unease. The lack of cooperation has made it difficult for the incoming team to get the information and support they need to effectively take over the reins of government. This has created a sense of uncertainty and unease. Many Americans are worried about the potential impact of this unorthodox approach on the functioning of the government and the stability of the country. The coming months will be critical in determining how this unprecedented transition will unfold and what it will mean for the future of American democracy.
The General Services Administration, or GSA, plays a pivotal role in presidential transitions. This agency is responsible for ensuring a smooth and efficient transfer of power from one administration to the next, a process that is crucial for maintaining stability and continuity in the federal government. It provides logistical support and resources, including office space, equipment, and access to essential services. These resources are vital for the incoming administration to hit the ground running and begin their work without unnecessary delays. It also facilitates the handover of government functions, ensuring that there is no disruption in the operations of federal agencies. This includes the transfer of important documents, access to secure communication channels, and coordination with outgoing officials. Trump's decision to exclude the GSA is a symbolic move. By bypassing this established process, he is making a statement about his approach to governance and his views on the federal bureaucracy. It underscores his deep mistrust of the federal bureaucracy, a sentiment he has expressed throughout his presidency. This move is consistent with his broader strategy of challenging and disrupting traditional institutions. The GSA's absence has had tangible consequences. Without the support and resources provided by the GSA, the transition process has faced significant challenges. It has slowed down the transition process, causing delays in the appointment of key officials and the implementation of new policies. This has had a ripple effect on the functioning of the federal government. It has also created logistical hurdles, as the incoming administration has had to find alternative ways to set up their operations. This has required additional time, effort, and resources, further complicating the transition. The Trump team has had to rely on private resources, turning to external vendors and contractors to fill the gaps left by the GSA's absence. This reliance on private entities raises concerns about the transparency and accountability of the transition process. This raises questions about transparency and accountability. The use of private resources can obscure the flow of information and make it more difficult to track how decisions are being made and who is influencing them. The GSA exclusion is not just about logistics, it is a statement. By sidelining the GSA, Trump is signaling his intent to operate outside the traditional power structures and norms that have governed presidential transitions for decades. Trump is signaling his intent to operate outside the traditional power structures. This move resonates with his supporters, who see it as a challenge to the status quo and a rejection of the established political order. He is sending a message to the federal bureaucracy: you are not in control. This bold stance has both supporters and critics, highlighting the deep divisions in American politics and the ongoing debate about the role of government in society.
For decades, the FBI has played a critical role in vetting political appointees. This rigorous process is designed to identify potential security risks. It is also meant to uncover conflicts of interest. Trump's decision to bypass the FBI is a risky gamble. By relying on private campaign lawyers for vetting, Trump is circumventing a crucial safeguard. This raises concerns about the judgment and qualifications of his appointees. It also creates vulnerabilities to espionage and undue influence. The FBI vetting process is not perfect. However, it is a vital layer of protection. Trump's decision to disregard it is a cause for concern. It suggests a willingness to prioritize loyalty over competence and integrity.
Trump's approach to foreign policy has been equally unorthodox. He has engaged in unrecorded conversations with world leaders. This has alarmed diplomats and national security experts. It raises serious questions about accountability and transparency. The lack of official records makes it impossible to verify the content of these conversations. It also makes it difficult to hold Trump accountable for his words and actions. This lack of transparency is deeply troubling. Diplomatic protocols exist for a reason. They are designed to prevent misunderstandings. They are also meant to ensure that there is a clear record of agreements and disagreements. Trump's disregard for these protocols is a recipe for disaster.
Section 5. Echoes of the Past. A stark contrast to predecessors. Trump's transition strategy stands in stark contrast to those of his predecessors. Unlike the traditional approach, which emphasizes cooperation and unity, Trump's methods have been marked by division and controversy. Past presidents have recognized the importance of a smooth handover of power. They have understood that the peaceful transfer of power is not just a formality, but a crucial element of maintaining the stability and continuity of the nation. They have worked collaboratively with their successors to ensure continuity and stability. This cooperation has often involved detailed briefings, sharing of critical information, and even personal meetings to discuss pressing issues facing the country. Trump's approach is, well, a radical departure from this tradition. His reluctance to engage in the customary practices of transition has raised eyebrows and concerns across the political spectrum. His actions suggest a disdain for the norms and conventions of American democracy. By refusing to acknowledge the importance of a seamless transition, Trump has set a precedent that many fear could have long-lasting implications. This has left many observers wondering whether he is truly committed to a peaceful transfer of power. The uncertainty surrounding his actions has created a sense of unease and apprehension among the public.
The peaceful transfer of power is a hallmark of American democracy. It is a tradition that has been upheld for centuries, symbolizing the resilience and strength of our democratic institutions. It is a testament to the strength of our institutions. The ability to transfer power without conflict is what sets the United States apart from many other nations. Trump's actions threaten to undermine this sacred tradition. The very fabric of our democracy is at stake, and the world is watching to see how we navigate this unprecedented challenge.
Section 6. Erosion of trust. A nation on edge. Trump's unconventional transition has eroded public trust in government. His actions have fueled a sense of uncertainty and anxiety. This is particularly true given the ongoing pandemic and economic crisis. The American people need reassurance. They need to know that their government is functioning effectively. Trump's actions have done little to inspire confidence. Trust is the bedrock of any democracy. Without trust, it is impossible to govern effectively. Trump's actions have shaken the foundations of American democracy.
Section 7. The shadow of conflict of interest. Trump's business dealings have cast a long shadow over his presidency. They continue to raise concerns about conflicts of interest. His refusal to fully divest from his business empire has fueled these concerns. Critics argue that Trump is using the presidency to enrich himself and his family. They point to his frequent visits to his own properties as evidence of this. They also express concern about foreign governments seeking to curry favor with Trump by patronizing his businesses. Conflicts of interest erode public trust. They also create opportunities for corruption. Trump's refusal to address these concerns is deeply troubling.
Section 8. A reckoning for democracy. Trump's unconventional transition is a test for American democracy. It remains to be seen whether our institutions are strong enough to withstand his assault on norms and conventions. The stakes are high. The future of American democracy may hang in the balance. The world is watching closely to see how this unfolds. The American experiment in democracy has always been a work in progress. It is a fragile system that requires constant vigilance and care. Trump's actions have put this system to the test. Section 9. The unfolding narrative, a wait-and-see approach. The full implications of Trump's transition strategy are not yet known. It is a story that is still being written. Only time will tell what the long-term consequences will. One thing is certain: Trump's presidency will have a lasting impact on American politics. His actions have exposed the vulnerabilities of our democracy. They have also revealed deep divisions within our society. The American people face a choice. We can either learn from this experience and strengthen our democracy, or we can allow it to be further eroded. The choice is ours.